This is When You Were Everything, chapter All About Me, pages 321 to 325, and it's a then, December, week 4. All About Me, Cleo Imani Baker. I get this text from Jace almost as soon as I walked out of my apartment building on the first Monday of winter break. It was windy and cold. I couldn't stand to stay inside with all of Daddy's stuff gone. And yet I wasn't ready to visit his new place either. My mom and I had established a delicate kind of peace, me admitting that decisions like marital separations aren't made alone, her apologizing for trivializing my feelings on the day Daddy moved out. We weren't completely healed, but we were getting there, moving a little closer inch by inch. Even though we were back on speaking terms, Mom was still working almost constantly. I was getting used to being alone. My last conversation with Layla had been on repeat in my head for days, and I wished I could move into the stacks at the library and be rid of everything and everyone else. It was still a few days until Christmas, a Christmas I was confident would suck, which meant I had dozens of waking hours ahead of me without school, plans, or anything else to look forward to. I stared at Jace's text, wondering what he might want. I was a little afraid to speak to him after what happened the night of the musical. I didn't know whose side he'd be on, since Mason was dating Layla now, and he was Jace's best friend. I didn't know if I could handle losing Jace, too. I chanced it. I texted Jace back as I pushed through the turnstile and stepped onto the platform. I didn't know where I was going, and I didn't really care. When I felt lost, I liked to get lost. And in New York City, it's easy to lose yourself. Yes, Jacelyn? I usually did all of my Christmas shopping online, but since I'd waited until the last minute and didn't have anything better to do, I decided, moments after boarding the train, to brave Fifth Avenue. Even if I didn't find anything, I'd at least be able to take in all the lavish decorations and lights. I thought it would be pretty enough to momentarily distract me from everything. And once I was in Manhattan, walking down the bright, crowded city streets, I realized I was right. New York City in December is pure eye candy. There are old men and women in Santa hats ringing bells as they collect donations in red pails. And even the street performers change their selections to seasonal carols. As I admired the window display at Tiffany's, daydreaming about sparkly jewelry that would probably never be mine, Jace texted back. Just found out both my parents are on call tonight, so I'm obviously having a party. My place, 9 o'clock, you better be there. I smiled. I hadn't been to a party since Halloween, but I was perfectly okay with keeping that streak going. Maybe I would go ice skating instead. Maybe I would get some hot chocolate at a holiday market. The day was already looking up, so why would I ruin it with something as messy and unpredictable as a party? Oh, IDK, Jace, can I let you know? I walked farther down the block, thinking about getting my dad a bow tie or my mom a pair of earrings. She'd slipped me her credit card before she left for work that morning, and though she gave it to me for food, I didn't think she'd object to a few gifts. I texted her just to be sure. No, you may not. LMK, I don't know what that is. Let me know? Jace texted back as I walked into a huge department store. A clerk squirted a cloud of perfume right in front of me. I glanced up from my phone just in time to dodge it. You are coming, even if I have to come pick you up myself. I rolled my eyes, but his was a kindness I'd missed. I was pretty sure I wasn't going to his party, and I felt like I needed to figure out how to be alone without being lonely. Today seemed like the perfect opportunity to do just that, to spend some quality time with myself. I mean, Sartre wrote, "Hell is other people," for a reason. If you want to hang out tomorrow, we can, I sent, but I'm skipping your party. Today is only and all about me. The first department store I walked into had a full wall of snow globes on display, and as soon as I saw them, it felt like a sign. I stepped forward, shaking each one to send its contents spinning, and held tight to one with a miniature of the very store I was standing in at its center. The thing about snow globes, I suddenly remembered Gigi saying, is that they're pretty to look at, but they'd be awful to inhabit. People are like that. Lies too. I had never realized what she meant until that moment, in that department store, how people can look so perfect from the outside. Their lives can seem so easy, but really, everything's a swirling mess. I left with only the snow globe of the store, which I bought for my own collection, and I headed to a holiday market with Nat King Cole's Christmas song playing on repeat through my earbuds. In the park, there were stands with hand-knit mittens and tiny wooden toys, gourmet spices and organic lotions. I picked out a pair of delicate freshwater pearl earrings for Mom and a pink and blue knit bow tie for my dad. I grabbed a hot chocolate with a giant gourmet marshmallow on top, and while it was still too hot to sip, I found a seat on the stairs at the entrance to the park. There were skateboarders and moms with bundled-up toddlers, and my people age kissing and laughing and goofing off. Let me start that again. There were skateboarders and moms with bundled-up toddlers and people my age kissing and laughing and goofing off. I sipped my chocolate, and it was rich and warm, and a little later, when I found a necklace with a silver snowflake charm, I bought that for myself too. The hours passed quickly in the hustle and bustle of people shopping and laughing and singing, and it was a relief to lose myself in the white noise of the city. I started to get a little too cold to stay outside for much longer, so I lifted my snow globe and shook it, peering through it at the rest of the park, as a kind of goodbye. But I lowered it slowly when, only a few feet away, I spotted a pale girl with flushed cheeks standing next to a brown-skinned girl with long black hair.